About 4 months ago, I came across this 1990 Miata on Facebook, and I'll give it to you. It had some red flags. It had the smoked out turn signals. It had the seller's thumb over the license plate. It had the tin can exhaust. It had the AutoZone special gauge pod and a bunch of stickers on it. However, I thought it had potential, so I took the drive down, and turned out it was actually not too bad. The oxidized paint looked like it could be fixed, and so I went ahead and traded the guy $1 plus a car that I couldn't sell for the privilege of this 253,000 mile Miata, and then I made the 1 hour and 43-minute drive home uneventfully, polished up that paint, and let me tell you, I was very satisfied with my purchase. At the same time, this next clip is pretty funny to me because I was in the honeymoon phase and I had no idea the amount of fun, but also the amount of challenges that I was about to face. This is the NA Miata, and it is fantastic and it's the best car ever. So if you ever need a car, get you a Miata. Miata is always the answer. Miata is always the answer. It's pretty, I think it's been set up for autocross at one point. The AC was deleted when I bought it. Put the AC back on. I mean, like compressor, and recharged it, and it's good. It's got some big old tires on it, and it's lowered a little bit on some coilovers, and it's got spacers. And I'm going to be removing those spacers because I think they cause vibration. Not a fan of those. It's got like these door pulls, got a Momo steering wheel, it's got a short shifter, which I hated at first, but I'm starting to get used to it. It's got a hard dog roll bar with a prairie dog on it. It's got a radio. And for a couple days, I was entirely satisfied until I found myself having to drive to Lynchburg, Virginia, which for me is not a long trip. I put the round trip numbers on all of these Google Maps overlays so that you can get a sense of exactly how long I drove, not just one way. But it totaled only 3 hours and 22 minutes, so you would think no big deal. Except by the end of that drive, my ears were bleeding. They felt like they were about to come out of my head. So what did I do? I turned around and did an even longer road trip to Charlotte, North Carolina to pick up a stock exhaust. So the next thing we're going to do on this car is fix the acoustics. I daily drive this. I need it to be not quiet. A Miata is never going to be quiet, but I need it to not make my ears bleed. Genuinely though, on the highway, after a long day of stop and go driving, this car makes my ears ring. So at the end of the day, I have vertigo, and my hearing sounds weird and muffled, and that can't be good for you long term. So I'm going to try to fix that. Now, this is a thing that's been talked about quite a lot on the forums, and there are some quick and easy fixes that you can do to improve the sound of your Miata. Now, one of the things on this one is it had a Megan Racing catback exhaust that sounded terrible. It sounded like a mosquito. Very, very angry mosquito. And it was not pleasant. And it was very loud. Like a mosquito talking through a microphone in an amphitheater. Just bzzz. Not good. So what we have to fix that is right beside me is a stock exhaust in good shape off of a Miata with 80,000 miles that this kid that I bought it from, he's going to ruin that thing very quickly, and he's going to have a lot of fun. Now, if you're getting extra noise from your exhaust, it could be coming from two places, well, three, but two that I'm going to address today. Could be your catalytic converter flanges, one right here, and there's one right there. If your exhaust is aftermarket, you very well might have a leak back here at another flange where your muffler bolts on. There's another gasket that's supposed to go there. This right here, I don't even know what that is or what they did. And it looks like it's held on by clamps. So that's definitely leaking. What I'm going to do is just get rid of all this and put the stock exhaust back on. Some WD-40 on the hangers. Now, if yours is old, this is a relatively new exhaust I can tell on here. If yours is old, these kind of pliers are lifesavers. You can just, probably some a little bit bigger than this, but you take them and you put them on the hanger, one side on the hanger, and then the other on the end of the metal part of the hanger, and you squeeze them together like this. That has worked in the past for me. I don't need to do that on this car, so I'm not going to. Just pull them off. Stock exhaust installed. Much better. So some people on the forums throughout history are Miata ancestors. We thank them for their contribution. They have realized and determined through lived experience, through experiments, trial and error, science, that the majority of the boomy exhaust and road noise comes from the trunk. This is the key to making your Miata quiet, is making your trunk quiet. There are two reasons for that. First of all, this trunk floor, it's a drum. Not good, very boomy. The second aspect of this, people don't realize this, the trunk is open to the interior compartment, the cabin. You sit up there. That's your ears right there, right where that light is. There's two sort of channels right there. And then there's the same thing on the other side. So, boom, 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 goes right through there into your ears. This is like an amplifier. So what you need to do is, these are what the two things you need to do, is you need to fill up those channels with something soft, something that's going to absorb sound, and then you need to put sound deadening at least right here. I'm going to put it all through here. This project turned into a lot longer of a process for me. When I opened my trunk, I realized, oh shoot, it smells terrible in here. Some water had spilled in here from a jug that I had sitting in there, and it had mildewed, so it mildewed my carpet all up, and it mildewed this sound deadening material. So I don't really have a choice. I'm gonna have to remove this. So the way this works is you want to take about 5 pounds of dry ice. For every 5 pounds of dry ice, you want 32 ounces of 91% isopropyl alcohol. You want to break the ice up first. Put your ice in some kind of bucket or container. Break it up some. Break it up. Then you take your alcohol and you open it. Because if you don't open it, it's not coming out. Take it and pour it in here. Science. Look at this science we doing. Sprite. It's probably the best Sprite you ever had in your life right there. Then you want to carefully, because you don't want to touch this with your skin, you want to carefully pour it on top of your sound deadening that you desire to break up. And what's going to happen is you'll hear the sound deadening make a crackling, popping noise. And when it's done making that noise, that's when you know that it's done doing its work. This area, the parcel shelf, that you can see also from this side right here. This whole area above the gas tank, all of this stuff is it's like a drum. All right, we're making progress here. Now, the way sound insulation works, I've heard it described as sound is like water. So what you want to do is ensure that you don't have any big gaps. So you just want to take your roller and just start rolling and get it all into all the cracks and crevices and whatnot of the parcel shelf, and do the same thing for the trunk. Overall, I was very satisfied with how this turned out. I ended up using an old comforter since my carpet was messed up. And it's a good thing that I did this, because almost immediately I found myself having to drive down to Jacksonville, Florida, a total of 16 hours and 37 minutes and over 1,100 miles. Now, this was by no means a planned trip, nor an easy trip, because the car was quieter, but it's still not quiet. It's a Miata. And we had two people with both of our luggage, and the wheels rub on the inner fender liners when there's a bunch of weight in the car. Still, I was really impressed with the car. At this point, the car was literally doing God's work, because we had to be in Jacksonville for a church leadership conference. That's my other job, other vocation, other calling, however you want to call it. And we wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for the Miata. So I get back from Jacksonville, and my friend had a bachelor party, so I had to go to Lynchburg. And then Gears and Gasoline came and had a car meet, so I had to go to Lynchburg. And then my friend had his wedding, so then I had to go to Lynchburg. And then I had to meet a friend, so I had to go to Lynchburg. Did I mention I had to go to Lynchburg? Eventually, the Miata got tired of Lynchburg, and it said, you know what? I'm done. I need a lot of work. So I ended up having to do a major service on the car. I ended up doing the timing belt, the water pump, the tensioner, the idler pulley, the thermostat, the valve cover gasket, the ECU temperature sensor, the front main crank seal, the front cam seals, balance the wheels and tires, power steering pump, and all the associated gaskets, and then flush the cooling system. So then, equipped with all my new shiny parts, I had to go on the next trip. I had to go to Maryland for a friend's bachelor party, then down to Chesterfield to see my family for Christmas, then Ridgecrest Conference Center in Asheville, North Carolina for a church conference. Then I had to swing by Stock Car Steel and Aluminum to pick up some steel for the 914, then all the way back to Blacksburg, and that ended up being a total of another 16 hours and 23 minutes and 1,052 miles total. And the Miata did not skip a beat once again. And that was the year. Over 9,500 miles in 4 months. Really just goes to show that any car is capable of whatever you throw at it, as long as the proper maintenance has been done. Especially this car, because the answer is always Miata.